Microphone check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, YouTube? It's your girl, according to Jay Natisse here, and I'm back with a review for Real Housewives of Potomac. This is season 9, episode 3. Without further ado, let's get into it. Y'all like my shirt? It's from Shein or Shein. I think it's really Shein, but it's in my latest YouTube haul, my latest Shein haul. So make sure y'all check that video after this one, okay? So we pick up where last week's episode left off with the girls getting kicked out of the GNA event. And Stacey is asking Ashley, like, did you not tell us to be here by 8 o'clock? And Ashley's like, yes, I did. And she's like, it's 8:04. And Ashley's like, well, you know, that's not 8 o'clock. And Stacey is just like, poor Stacey is just flabbergasted. She is befuddled. I'm saying all these words because if y'all know how Stacey is already. So she is like, oh my God, I have never, like, I am offended. She was like, I am offended. So they proceed to leave. Jassie's like, whatever, I'm leaving. Mia was like, Giselle's nasty. I don't want to spend time in her tacky ass house, her Willy Wonka furniture. She's a nasty old woman. So they get back in the Sprinter, and then this heifer Ashley comes outside with the QR code, like, if you guys still want to donate, like, heifer, get up out of here. Like, like, you just kicked us out and you still want us to donate, girl? Bye, Ashley. So Jassie closed the door on her. So it's 18 hours after the GNA event, and the girls, Jassie meets up at Stacey's house. And if I saw somebody say this, they said Stacey's voice sounds like a news anchor. Like, you know how news anchors change their voice, like, and now with our stories, back to you, Jim. But her voice just don't turn off. That's exactly how Stacey's voice is. But anyway, so Jassie meets up with Stacey at her house, and then Ashley comes over, and they're talking about the GNA, or what they call the Gangsters and Alcohol event, child. So Jassie's like, you know, that was rude and all that stuff, and her and Ashley are going back and forth, and Karen arrives. Now, Bravo, kill it. Like, we know Karen had the DUI issue, like, come on, like, do we have to make it known that Karen's getting rides, like, everywhere now because she can't drive currently? Like, we know that going to events that they're usually getting, you know, car services and all that stuff. So leave me alone with it, Bravo. Anyway, Karen arrives and hears Jassie and Ashley arguing, and she's like, what the is going on in here? So Ashley's kind of saying, oh, Karen, you're deflecting. She's like, it's a court case. I can't talk about it. She's like, you weren't giving all that deflecting when Michael, who y'all know is Ashley's, I guess, soon to be ex-husband, was, you know, allegedly pinching booties on season 1 or season 2, I believe, of the Camera Guys. She's like, oh, I can't talk about it. Now that Karen can't talk about it, now it's a different thing. And Karen be giving it to Ashley. It's so funny. She was like, and I know them Uber gift cards were a diss. And she was like, I know they were a diss, Ashley. She's like, you should have used them Uber gift cards and used that money to, what'd she say? To clear them unicorns off her feet or something like that. Talking about her bunions. So Ashley proceeds, she's like, oh, my bunions? Ashley proceeds to put her nasty foot, including the shoe, and I think it had been raining, so you coming in with a wet shoe and your nasty ass foot on Stacey's counter. I've been like, bitch, get your foot off my counter. We have a cute moment with Wendy and her mom and her daughter in the kitchen. They're cooking, I'm guessing, traditional Nigerian meals. Wendy says she cooks for her family, but she don't be, you know, getting down like that. So that's where mom comes in to cook the traditional Nigerian dishes. So they're talking about, Wendy goes on to tell her mother that, you know, Eddie's father reached out to me to wish me a happy Mother's Day. she's like, oh, that's nice or whatever. Because if you remember, Wendy's family don't really mess with, Eddie's family don't really mess with Wendy. And she goes on to say that Wendy's mom and Eddie's mom used to be really, really close. Then they had a falling out. Next thing you know, the kids are dating. Wendy and Eddie are dating. And it just never got right. Like, so I believe that Eddie's mother hasn't even met her grandchildren, which is wild. But so since Eddie's dad extended the olive branch, she's like, I'm thinking of inviting them to my 40th birthday dinner. And the mother's like, go ahead, do that. That was pretty much their segment. Oh, and they're going to Lake Norman in North Carolina with a trip sponsored by Mia. We get into Kay. Kay is making some food for Greg because he just had a root canal. So she's making him, some soft food, some pancakes, some eggs. And Kay's mom comes over, and baby, Kay's mom is, yes, ma'am. I was like, dang, how old was you when you had Kay? Because they are looking like sisters, okay? But, so she's like, I bought Greg some soup. And she's like, oh, that was nice of you. And she opens up the bag and pulls out the cans of soup. I mean, hey, she bought him some soup. I thought she went to Panera Bread to get them some soup or something. She's like, nope. I went over to Walmart, picked them Campbell's up. Here you go. Anywho, we get to know a little bit about Greg. Greg has 3 daughters from a previous relationship. Kay seems to like them. And Kay's mom goes into asking, oh, when you gonna get married? Y'all living together and all that stuff. And Kay's just like, I'm just taking it like we're cohabitating. Let's just take it, what it is for right now. Now, I may not like Giselle, but she got some beautiful daughters, and her daughters are going to prom. Their dad, Pastor Jamal Bryant, comes in, and they're getting ready. They look cute. Yeah, they look cute. I ain't gonna say nothing bad about the kids. They look really nice. They look really nice. They look age appropriate because, baby, these prom dresses these days, I be like, my parents would never. But they looked really nice, really age appropriate. And one twin, I think it was Adore, was like, oh, I want to stay out later. And Angel's like, no, my social battery will run out. So it was a cute moment. You could tell one twin is very like outgoing. And one twin is very introverted, which brings me to a little story time. So my aunts on my dad's side, his 2 sisters, they are twins. They're fraternal twins, though. They're not identical like Angel and Adore. But it's crazy because I don't know if this is like a twin thing or whatever, but one is very introverted. Shout out to you, Aunt Tammy. If you're watching this, I know you will. Hey, girl. No, she's extroverted. I'm sorry. Aunt Tammy is the wild one. The family know Aunt Tammy's the wild one. And Aunt Tara is very introverted. Anywho, so twins go off to prom. That's it with Giselle. She realizes she ended up having a conversation with Mia. She realizes that she took her anger out on them at the GNA event. She's really upset with Karen because Karen said that she wasn't going to invite the other girls to the award thing. Then all of a sudden she is. So her beef is with Karen, and she gonna talk to her about it when they hit North Carolina. Mia and Ink. Mia seems really happy with Ink. They seem really happy. Jacqueline comes over with her baby daddy, and they have 2 daughters, I think a 12-year-old and a 5-year-old. Beautiful girls, look just like daddy. I believe his name was Patrick. Looked just like Patrick. I was like, dang, Jacqueline, were you even in the room? So they're talking about, they're just having conversation. And in the confessional, Jacqueline goes on to say how me and Ink were really off and on, like in high school and all that stuff. But when they had broken up, when Mia got married the first time, not to G, that Ink was trying to holler at her. And Watch What Happens Live, I believe it was Watch What Happens, no, Mia's interview with Carlos King. she goes on to say that she thinks that Jacqueline and Ink kissed. And as you know, Mia and Jacqueline have a weird relationship. Like, I don't know if they'd be sharing or participating in threesomes, whatever. So they talk about the upcoming trip. So Stacy's in the gym just working on her fitness. She's working with a trainer, and her boyfriend, or her best friend turned boyfriend guy she's seeing, TJ, comes in. Now, as she said before, her and TJ have not had sex because he is a devout Christian and wants to wait till marriage. But, pardon me, is it me? Or was their interaction still very, very weird? Like when he came in and she tried to greet him, like he gave a little like church hug to her. Like, ain't that supposed to be your girl? Like, like you got your clothes on, so you ain't got nothing to worry about. But it was just giving very weird. And she was like trying to nuzzle up on him, and he was just like, and she was like, on a scale of 1 to 100 or 1 to 10, whatever she said, how bad do you want to have sex with me? And he said letter K. And she was like, what? And he was like, that means like there's no, like, I don't want to have sex with you. So it's, I don't know what it's given. Some people have been saying some things. I ain't gonna get into all that, but I'ma just say he don't seem all that into her. Then we have a lunch outing with Giselle, Ashley, Stacy, Jassy, and Wendy. Okay? First things first, Giselle apologizes to the group about what happened, and Wendy is shocked. Remember, Wendy stayed at Karen's event, but she knows what happened, and she is shocked. She's in the confessionals like, this is the same Giselle? Like, who don't take accountability for nothing? So she is shocked about Giselle even apologizing. So she's like, well, Stacy, so they go into a later conversation, and Giselle says, well, Stacy, I want to get to know you more. She's like, so you have 2 children? And Stacy's like, I have 1. And she's like, oh, but you're married. She's like, I'm separated. We're going through divorce. And Ashley's like, oh, but she got, and Giselle noticed that Stacy seemed a little sad about it. And she was like, hey, you seem a little sad and all that stuff. And she's like, well, I don't want, I'm not for the family breaking up and all that. And Ashley's like, well, she got a little friend. And Stacy was just like, I didn't tell you it was okay to spread my business, Ashley. But Ashley was like, I didn't think it was like business to be spread. But y'all know messy Ashley, but I really don't think she was trying to be messy. I think she was just, I don't know what she was doing, trying to start a conversation. But anyway, they're talking, so the lunch goes off without a hitch. So the ladies arrive to go to Lake Norman. They're at the airport. Stacy says she's going to drive for personal reasons. She's going to drive. The other ladies are flying. They arrive at Lake Norman, and Giselle and Wendy end up in the same car. And they actually have a decent conversation. And Mia and Karen are in the car together, and Mia pretty much asked Karen how she's doing, and that was pretty much the end of the episode. So thank y'all so much for tuning in. If you like this recap, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all on the next video. Later.